That's right. We're letting AI build a dream vacation from scratch. We fed it a bunch of Angeli's favorite things, her hobbies, the food she likes, places she's always dreamed of going. The whole 9 yards. Now we're gonna see if AI can actually deliver. Will this be the ultimate dream vacation or a total AI fail? Stick around to find out. First stop, Tokyo, Japan. The AI knows Angeli loves anime and all things kawaii. So obviously, we had to hit up Tokyo. Imagine walking down the streets of Shibuya, the bright lights of the crosswalk flashing, giant anime figures staring down at you from every building, and the smell of ramen filling the air. We're talking about trying every kind of ramen imaginable, from classic tonkatsu to the super spicy kind that makes you sweat. And we can't forget about the robot restaurant. Giant robots, crazy costumes, and delicious food. What more could you ask for? And because no trip to Tokyo is complete without experiencing the culture, we'll be trying on kimonos, learning some Japanese, and maybe even catching a sumo wrestling match. Next up, we're jet-setting over to Paris, the city of love. Angeli's a sucker for romance, so Paris was a no-brainer. Picture this, waking up in a charming Parisian cafe, the smell of fresh croissants and coffee filling the air. First things first, we're heading straight to the Eiffel Tower. But we're not just looking at it, we're climbing it, all the way to the top for the most epic view of the city. Then we'll take a leisurely stroll along the Seine River, maybe even rent a rowboat, get that classic Parisian experience. And of course, no trip to Paris is complete without indulging in some delicious French pastries. We're talking macarons, pain au chocolat, and enough croissants to build a small Eiffel Tower out of. G'day mates! We're heading down under to the land of kangaroos and koalas. Angeli's dying to see some unique wildlife, so Australia was a must-do. We're kicking things off in Sydney, where we'll be catching some rays at Bondi Beach, learning to surf with the locals, no wiping out hopefully, and maybe even spotting a Hemsworth or two. Hey, a girl can dream, right? Next up, we're heading to the Sydney Opera House. And I don't mean just looking at it from the outside. We're talking about snagging tickets to the hottest show in town. Opera, ballet, whatever's playing, we're there. And we can't forget about the wildlife. We'll be cuddling koalas, feeding kangaroos, and maybe even getting up close and personal with some crocs. Chapter 4. Cape Town, South Africa. Safari adventures and stunning scenery. Next stop, Cape Town, South Africa. Angeli's a huge nature lover, so we're going on an epic South African adventure. We're talking about hiking up Table Mountain for breathtaking views, exploring the city's vibrant markets, and maybe even cage diving with great white sharks. Don't worry, we'll make sure Angeli doesn't become shark bait. And for all you adrenaline junkies out there, we're gonna try some extreme sports. Bungee jumping off Bluegrins Bridge, anyone? It's the highest commercial bridge bungee jump in the world. But it's not all thrills and chills. We'll also be taking some time to soak in the local culture. We'll be trying out traditional South African cuisine, learning some local dances, and maybe even picking up a few souvenirs at the craft markets. Chapter 5. Reykjavik, Iceland. Northern Lights and Ice Caves. Next, we're heading north to Reykjavik, Iceland. Angeli's always dreamed of seeing the Northern Lights, and I don't blame her. They're epic. We'll be chasing those magical lights across the Icelandic sky, snowmobiling across glaciers, and exploring ice caves straight out of a fairy tale. And we gotta warm up after all that ice and snow. So we're taking a dip in the Blue Lagoon, those famous geothermal spas you always see on Instagram. And just because we're feeling adventurous, we're going on a hike to a volcano. Don't worry, we checked, and it's not gonna erupt while we're there. Title: Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Carnival celebrations and Copacabana Beach. Last but not least, we're heading to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil for some fun in the sun. Angeli loves to dance, so Rio's Carnival is the perfect place to let loose. We're talking about feathers, music, dancing in the streets, and enough energy to power a small city. We'll be hitting up Copacabana Beach for some sun, sand, and maybe even a game of beach volleyball. And when we're feeling adventurous, we'll be hiking up to Christ the Redeemer for a bird's eye view of the city. And of course, no trip to Rio would be complete without trying some authentic Brazilian food. We're talking feijoada, picanha, and enough caipirinhas to make your head spin. Outro: AI planned vacation. Success or fail? So, what do you think? Did AI nail the perfect vacation for Angeli? From the bustling streets of Tokyo to the sunny beaches of Rio, it looks like AI might be onto something with this whole travel planning thing. What do you guys think? Would you let AI plan your next vacation? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more insane adventures.